Hey everybody, we're out in the middle of the southern end of the Rocky Mountains in New Mexico. As you can see, we got our tent set up. Look who's here.
Hi, it's been a minute.
Or two.
Or three.
Where you been?
All over the state. You name it, I've probably been there.
Right. So, northern New Mexico, well, almost north, it's like central north. Crazy wild area out here. It's pretty. It's all big spruce trees and water everywhere. Obviously, we wouldn't come all the way out here without doing a beer challenge.
Oh, you know it.
And we have a beer and what is that?
I guess you'd call it cider.
Angry Orchard hard cider. Peach mango.
This is my favorite brand. Good stuff here.
I have a St. Pauli girl, which is, it's been a while since I've had one of these. I think they're pretty good. Let's find out.
I don't know. Mine's pretty easy to open.
I guess. Not mine. Prost.
Prost.
Let's see. It's a bit foamy.
Good as always.
But good.
Actually, I like that. I haven't had this one yet.
Hey, that's a good beer. I like it. I know the video I just put out last week on the other end of the state, which was a German Pilsner, I gave it a 10. But you know what? I think this one might be a 10 also.
Really? 2 10s back to back?
I'm afraid to say so, yes.
That's insane.
Amazing good beer.
Now mine's pretty good. I'm not going to say it's a peak though. I'm going to say mine's like a 9.
So if you feel like donating beer to this cause, St. Pauli's girl would be a good choice. It's a 10. So anyway, this area has got a unique history. All supposed to be haunted. Right next door to this campground is the Holy Ghost Campground. And the reason they call it that is, I think it was around the 1600s, a Catholic priest got murdered by a tribe of natives. I'll do some more research and add it to the end of this video. We don't have a phone out here or anything, so I can't do any research.
Nope.
Also, if I remember right, a state police officer disappeared in this area out here, never to be seen or heard from again. And several other hikers have gone missing, never to be recovered. Anyway, a lot of people disappear out here. Not a lot, but 1 or 2 a year, which is pretty odd. Now, this is a big mountain range. I don't know the exact square mileage of this sucker, but it's part of the Rocky Mountains, and it just, you could stay on this mountain and go all the way up probably to Wyoming, Montana. Yep. And follow this spine. So it's quite a ways back in here. We've lost cell service probably about 25 miles ago. Yep. And as usual, just like my camping trip, my motorcycle camping trip. So last week I was on my motorcycle camping trip, which is fun in itself. Everybody should try that at least once. This time we brought the Jeep and the tents. Nice little setup. We'll see. So later on tonight when it gets dark, hopefully we don't get rained out. There's predicting some heavy rains and hasn't rained.
Don't you think about it.
There's some big clouds building, but we're going to try to get some EVPs out here tonight. I camped up here about 1.5 years ago, and the guy I was with, we were motorcycle camping. We kept seeing shadow figures all the time. We were always like, did you see that? Did you see that? I don't know. But can't be a spooky area, hopefully not too bad. I've never had anything bad happen to me out here. There are bears, there are mountain lions.
There's a little bit of the ravenous chipmunks.
Lots of chipmunks. We came up here, laid a bunch of stuff out. There's one right there, 2 of them.
Oh goodness.
We laid our stuff out, and it's a short walk, maybe a 1/4 mile to some ponds where they pond up to creek here running over here. We were gone less than an hour, came back, and they then broke into my big bag of freaking almonds.
Yep, the expensive brand.
And into her bag of gummy worms.
Yep.
They're lightning fast, chipmunks. You gotta watch them. People say worry about Sasquatch.
No, the chipmunks. No. It's all about the chipmunks.
It's the chipmunks. Luckily we had our tent zipped up because otherwise there'd be a whole family of chipmunks in there nesting right now.
Probably.
And we don't want that. Anyway, I want to do some shout outs. I haven't done them in the last video or last couple of videos. As always, Larry Lawson down in Florida, he's always watching my videos. He's always commenting on them. We really appreciate that, Larry. And also Chris Huff, hanging out on the other side of the pond in England. Always has something to say about our videos and always positive about it. Great guy, both of them. Heather in Sweden or Norway, Sweden, I think. Always has something to say about our videos. we appreciate people like that.
We really do.
Make comments on these videos. Anyway, this area we're in, and the adjacent mountain range, the Jemez mountain range, they all butt up together, has had numerous Bigfoot sightings, and they've even had like Bigfoot hunters and stuff come out here and look for them. So there's a potential that they may be out here. We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat.
So who's to say what's all happened out here in these woods? You know, people say our history isn't that old. Well, maybe not European history out here. You know, we go back to early 1600s, I guess, with the Spaniards coming over here. But think about the tribes that lived out here. And you know they'd be out here in this area because it's got game, it's got water, it's got shade, it's got everything you need to survive out here. Everything grows out here. So could be some pretty crazy history out here.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know it.
No. People constantly, you know, you can walk around out here and find arrowheads, spear points. I guess they're all spear points. Some pretty old stuff has been dug up in this area. And then in the 1800s, you know, when the East Coast started coming out this way, they traveled through these areas, and lots of people didn't make it. A lot of people didn't make that trek out west, and we're actually, I think, maybe 25 miles away from the Santa Fe Trail.
Yep.
So that was from Missouri, heading out this way. So a lot of hardship, a lot of stuff. So could this place be paranormal? Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just wait till the sun goes down. You'll see.
Oh, God. Thanks for the warning.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have any weird paranormal experiences over in Gamado, my last week's video, but I think I was just too exhausted and just went to sleep. And although that was the quietest forest I've ever been in, it was a full moon, and I woke up at like 2, 3 in the morning. Pretty much woke up every half hour because I didn't bring a pillow or anything, and the ground was incredibly hard. But every time I woke up, I was just astonished how quiet it was. There was nothing, not a sound out there.
That's
really
creepy.
strange. And before that, it was probably about 10:30. The place I was camping in sits in a canyon, pretty narrow, maybe 100 yards across at the bottom. And I could hear something coming, and it's all, you know, downhill. I could hear something coming from up high. The higher side of the mountain is scaring the crap out of me because I didn't know if it sounded like an earthquake or something. And I'm already getting out of my sleeping bag, and I'm like, what the hell is this? It was an airplane, a twin-engine aircraft, and I managed to get the tent open and look out just as it flew overhead.
Jesus.
And this thing was maybe 50 feet above the tree line and way inside the canyon with me. And I know it was a twin engine. I know a little bit about airplanes. It was a twin engine propeller-driven aircraft that just buzzed the trees coming through that canyon. And I was really waiting for a fireball or an explosion because I thought this dude's going down, because who flies in the dark that low to trees? Drug runners. I was fairly close to the Mexican border, you know, staying below radar, flying inside the canyons.
That's a possibility.
Either way, that got my attention. That was pretty weird. But that was the only weird thing that really happened to me over there, except for and the javelinas, the little wild pigs. They make a racket, and if you're not used to being out in the woods, or if you've never been camping before and you heard that, you'd probably be pretty convinced there's a Sasquatch out there about ready to get you. And all it is a bunch of little hogs. Yeah, a big one's about this big. You know, and the one I've seen when I first got there was one about this big, and a bunch of little baby ones about this big, probably about 9 or 10 of them. And they were just scurrying and squeaking and squealing and making all kinds of noise. Cute little things. I heard they can be aggressive. You know, much like the large boars, they got the same attitude. Just
Okay, maybe not so old after all. They're not so cute.
well, like chihuahuas, you know, they're tiny, but still think they're mean as hell. You all heard of the Mandela effect? Have you heard of the Mandela effect?
Yes, I have.
So Nelson Mandela, I always thought he died in prison. You know, and everybody I've known always assumed he died in prison, but it turned out that no, he actually became a president of a country, you know, and died of a ripe old age.
Yeah.
Pretty strange. So perception is different. Some people remember it one way, some people remember it the other way. And there's tons of videos on YouTube about Mandela effect. They named it the Mandela effect because of some people remember it one way or the other. And I started watching some of these videos, and I'm like, holy cow, there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't seem the way it was that I remember.
Yep.
Now they accredit this to the Large Hadron Collider in CERN, Switzerland, France. They think when they start smashing atoms at that thing, that it create a rift in time or in a dimension or something happened.
New timeline, something along those lines.
A lot of stuff has changed. Here's some of the stuff that just blew me away. Cartoons, we all, at my age, we grew up every Saturday morning watching Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny and all that stuff. And it was clearly spelled tunes as in T-O-O-N-E-S.
This is the same for me.
Because it's a tune like music.
Well, I thought it was because of cartoons.
Yeah, cartoons, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Now it's spelled T-U-N.
T-U-N-E-S.
As in the tune in music, which makes no sense at all. I clearly remember double O's.
This is something I take issue with as well, because I only ever remember being T-O-O-N.
There's a lot of them. Check it out. Go to YouTube, put in Mandela Effect, and just see. Some of them are dumb, but some of them, like I said earlier, I'm an aircraft. I love aircrafts. I love planes. That's why I fly. And I clearly remember jet engines being directly underneath the wing of like a 747.
That's exactly what I was
wing-mounted jet engines were underneath the wing. And the front of the jet engine was even with the leading edge of the wing. Now when I look at aircraft, all aircrafts with jet engines on the wing, the engine protrude is forward of the wing, way forward of the wing. That was never like that. Never like that. Kit Kat. Kit Kat is spelled hyphenated now. Or it's not hyphenated.
It's not hyphenated.
It used to be hyphenated. It used to be K-I-T with a hyphenation and cat.
This is one where the perspectives are different, because I've never remembered that. It's something where there was always the same word for me.
A little more. C-3PO from Star Wars. I remember him being all gold.
I remember this too.
Now if you look at him, he's got a silver leg. It's gold with a silver leg. Don't remember that part.
I don't remember that.
When I say Luke, what are you going to say?
I am your father. That's
exactly what he said when I watched the movie a million times, 30 years ago. What does he actually say now?
No, I am your father.
If you have any Mandela Effect stories, comment on this video, let me know. Now that's the thing with the Mandela Effect. It's not like things were changed, recently into this. The Mandela Effect is like in that parallel universe, it's always been like that. It's never changed. And now you're in a different...
You still have the recollection of what was old, moving into this new timeline where things were just always that way.
Now you're in a new timeline and you remember it one way, but it's never been that way. So all of history has been like erased or replaced. You can go back to the beginning of time and it's like, oh, it's always been that way. Even though you don't remember it that way. It's like, wow. And if it was just one person thinking it, like, well, clearly you just remember it, that way.
But the thing is this is a collective memory between a lot of people.
Thousands of people all remember it the same way. Like something happened.
The Bernstein Bears is another one. Like, how do you spell Bernstein Bears?
It's always been the Bernstein Bears.
But now it's Bernstein Bears with an A.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And if you Google Bernstein Bears, it'll always be Bernstein, even from the day it was published. Ridiculous. So, like I said, there's something behind that. Maybe we were all crazy.
Probably.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think there's something to be said about parallel universes. And many scientists are starting to agree that there's something to this.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Variations of the same timeline.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me at all. Once again, we're out here in this area. It's beautiful. It's high altitude. We got giant blue spruce trees out here and fir trees and ponderosa pine trees. Trout stream just right around the corner. And pretty interesting area. And once again, if you see this video, that means we didn't get abducted.
Thank God.
Dragged away by a Sasquatch or any other hairy critter that might be running around out here.
Bear, cougar, that one crazy dude we passed by on the road. Yeah,
there's I think a lot of people that disappear in the mountains are abducted by crazy people that are hiding out in these mountains. Serial killers, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they don't want to stay here anymore.
But we packed a surprise for them.
It's true.
And I'm not talking about lunch. So anyway, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. We're gonna make a fire and cook something to eat here pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then once it gets dark, we're gonna try to get some EVPs out here. Who knows, you know? We're out camping, you never know what happens out here. We've got some of our best EVPs camping.
I don't want it to be spooked too much. I have to sleep out here.
So stay tuned.
Yeah. Oh God!
Open it up and put water in it.
Why did you make me drink this?